The notes for section 9.3 on rotations. If it goes too fast, stop, pause, rewind, and just take notes on the worksheet. When you're finished, check in with your partner for clarification and then get started on the assignment. All right, so section 9.3, rotations. What is a rotation? The first thing you want to know is the definition, so we'll write that down. A rotation, all right, so a rotation is a transformation in which a figure, so any shape, it can even be a dot, a point, right? So a rotation is a transformation in which a figure is going to be turned about a fixed point. Now, this fixed point that you're going to be rotating around is what we call the center of rotation. So this thing right here, the fixed point that we're talking about, is what we're going to call the center of rotation. So this guy here is the center of rotation. All right, so the next thing you need to know is the size of the rotation. This right here, the size of the rotation, is what we call the angle of rotation. So the size of the rotation, is called the angle of rotation. Okay. The second thing we want to do is how do we perform rotation? So there's quite a few rotations, but when you're talking about a geometry class, you're talking about 3 specific types of rotations. What we're going to focus on, okay, so what we're going to focus on is on the counterclockwise rotations. If you want, you can take a look at clockwise rotations, but the focus for this class will be on the counterclockwise. And if you don't know what the counterclockwise rotation looks like, it kind of looks like that right there. All right, so there are 3 rotations that you need to worry about. The first one is the 90-degree rotation. So our 90-degree rotation about the origin. Is when you take the point ordered pair A comma B and you rotate it at negative B comma A. The 180-degree rotation about the origin is when you take the ordered pairs A comma B and you rotate them to the ordered pair negative A comma negative B. And finally, the 270-degree rotation about the origin is when you take the ordered pair A comma B and you rotate it to B comma negative A. All right, so time for some examples. Our first example, we're going to rotate points about the origin with the given counterclockwise rotation. Question problem A, sorry, is a 90-degree rotation about the origin given the point A. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure we remember what is the rule for the 90 degrees. So I'll write this down. Rule for 90 degrees. So this is the 90-degree angle rotation rule. That's when you go AB to negative BA. So we're going to go A comma B, and that's going to turn into negative B comma A. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take the second number, take the opposite of it and put it in the front, and take the first number and take it exactly as it is and put it as the y value. So our A component is going to be 4 comma 3. So I'm going to write it down as 4 comma 3. And now we're going to find the rotation on that. Now if we rotate it, we're going to take the second value, the y value, and we're going to do the opposite of that. The opposite of 3 is negative 3. So I'm going to put negative 3 in the front. And then we're going to take the x value and we're going to write it exactly as it is for our second value. This will give us our image, A prime, which is at negative 3 comma 4. And when we graph it, we get the point A prime there. Now, why is this a 90-degree rotation? What we can do is we can look at how the angle is set up from point A to the origin. Now, since we're rotating about the origin, we want to make sure we go from the origin to the point in which we are rotating. So we're rotating point A 90 degrees to get to A prime. So this right here is our 90-degree rotation. Problem B, rotate point B 180 degrees about the origin. So the first thing, again, write down the rule. The rule is the 180-degree angle. And the rule for the 180-degree angle is to take the ordered pair A comma B and rotate it so that B, your x-coordinate, or your y-coordinate, sorry, becomes negative B, and your x-coordinate becomes negative A. So we take the opposite, essentially, of x and the opposite of y. Now the problem that we have is that B is located at -1, 5. Now we're going to rotate it using this rule, so we're going to take -1 and do the opposite of that, which is 1. And we're going to take our B, which is 5, and do the opposite of that, which is -5. And we now have our ordered pair, 1, -5. So we go over 1 and down 5. And that gives us our point B prime. Now to show that this is a 180-degree rotation, once again, starting at the origin, we'll draw a line that goes to B, and then we'll also draw a line that goes to B prime. And what we'll notice is that the angle here of rotation is 180 degrees, counterclockwise. All right, so we'll go on to questions C and D in the second video. If you didn't understand anything, like I said, go back and rewind it.